Hello students. So students, in the previous class we had completed the chapter, that is chapter 8, that is body movement, and we discussed that how the movement occur through our bones, how the muscles are attached with our bones and how it help in the movement, how the movement occur in case of a human being with the help of the bones, with the help of muscles, and how the movement occur in the other animals also. In the other animals, we have seen students that how movement occur with those animals who do not have a legs as well as those who have legs. Okay, how the birds they used to fly, they show movement, and how the fishes which do not have a leg, so how their muscles help them in movement. We have also seen that how the snake or that of the snail used to move with the help of the muscles, how they show or form the loop or curve when they used to move. Okay, so this is the body movement and the muscles, bones, which is responsible for the movement. Now today we will start with the new chapter, that is the next chapter, and that is chapter 9, the living organism and their surrounding. You see student, if we talk about Himalaya, so the Himalaya is the mountain, and you see that there also you will find a lot of different kind of animals as well as the plants. If you look at the desert area, so there you will find cactus is there, or a camel you can see. Okay, many rodents will be, you can see it easily. So there also it consisting of the living organism. If you look at the coastal area, so palm tree is there. Okay. If you look at the region where very cold temperature is there, there also you will find that the animals or the plants are present there. So why I am saying all these things, why I am taking the example and the conditions in which I am telling that the animals and the plants are living there. So here you see the condition can be anything. It can be a desert area, it can be grassland, it can be of any climate zone, means a very cold climate, or a very snowy area, or a coastal area, doesn't matter. Every time you will find that the living organisms are present there. Okay, so plants and the animals, although differ from each other, they are different in their habitat, they are different in their adaptation, as well as they differ from the structure and function also, but they all are the living organism and they show their survival. Okay, so the one thing common in all these places that they consisting of living things, they are having the living organism. So before we go further and try to understand the different things about the living organism and its surrounding, we should understand that how can we say that a person is a living thing or a non-living thing. Okay, so the topic will be the living things which is present around us. Living things around us. Living things around us. So a lot of living organisms are there which is present around us. Now how can you say that this organism is a living organism? So there are some of the characteristics, on the basis of that we can say that this particular organism is a living thing or is a non-living thing. When you look at the chair student, what is the difference that you find from a chair and a child? So you will say that there are a lot. First thing that came, that it need food, it need water, it used to grow also. So we can write it that the living thing is those things which needs food, water, and air for the survival. Now, if you take this chair and keep it in a dark room, or keep it in a place where, keep it in a dark room for more than a month, what will happen to the chair? Nothing. The chair will remain the same as it is. But if you take a plant and you keep it inside a dark place and you left it without giving water or food, without giving water or without exposing it to the air, then what will happen? After 1 month, student, after few days, you will find that the plant died. And the same thing happened with any of the animal or the human being. So you have seen that we can say that the thing, living thing, is that thing which need food, which need water, and which need air for the survival. Okay, so for their survival, they need all these things are very important. For example, sorry, there are a lot more example of that of the living thing, student, like a boy is there, or a girl is there, frog is there, insect is there, birds are there, okay, lizard are there, we can say reptiles, okay, lizard are there, earthworm is there, snake is there, fishes are there, etc. So you can see they all are living in a different places. One used to live on the land, the frog live in the land as well as on the water, the fishes live in the water, insect used to fly, birds used to fly, lizard used to crawl. So you see they all possess different features, but the one thing is common, that they all need food, water and air to survive. So we can write it that the one thing which is common in all of these is that they all need food, water and air for their survival. Okay, so they all need food, water, air, all their survival. So you can see, if suppose they will not get all these things, students, so ultimately it will lead to death of these organisms. Okay, so such things we can say are important for their survival, and that is why we will consider them as a living thing. Now you see that we are saying that these are the organisms, they need all these things, and that is why they are living things. Now all the living things, they are differ from that of the non-living things, since they are having such kind of a property, they possess such property, and due to which they differ from that of the non-living thing. So such characteristics which differentiate between the non-living and living, let us discuss about it, that what are the different characteristics of a living organisms. Characteristic of living things. Characteristic of the living thing. Let us start with what are the different characteristics of a living thing here. So the first characteristic, students, right now we said that they need food, they need air, they need water for their survival. So we can write it, living things need food, water and air for their survival. Okay, they need food, they need water and air for their survival. Now the next thing is, now you see, when you look at the living thing like that of a plant and a chair. Now you had kept a chair for 1 year in a room or outside, wherever you want, and you just planted plant also. You have planted a small crop or small plant, students. So if you planted a plant, then or any kind of a plant, so after 1 year, when you look at the plant and when you look at the chair, what is the difference you will find? You will find that the plant, it grows and develops. But here the chair, it remains the same. There is no difference. It will as it is, as it has been kept earlier, means before 1 year. But when you look at the plant, now it already has grown up. So we can write that is living thing can grow. Okay? Okay? Living things, they can grow, but the non-living thing, they cannot grow. Okay? Then the next one is, that is, living thing can move by themselves. Okay? Yes, we can say, when you look at a human being or the animals, you will find that we are able to move our body. Okay? What happened in the plants? Yes, even in the plants also the movement occur. Like we already had studied that the plants, the food and the water, it used to carry to the different part of the plant with the help of the pipes which is present inside to that of the plant. So we will say that the food distribution, the water distribution occur in the plant. How? By the movement only. That water or the food used to get transported from one part to the other part. Okay, so we can say that here the living thing can show the movement. Now you will say that the car also move, jeep also move, buses also move. So they all are the non-living. Yes, they are, and they move also, but there we have to apply a force. So they used to move with the help of the machine. So here the movement does not occur by themselves. The movement occurred by a help of a machine or help of a human. So with the help of that only, or with the help of an animal, they used to move forward. So we can say that the non-living thing, they can move, but they cannot move by themselves. But the living thing, they can move by themselves. Okay. Okay. So the living things, they can move by themselves. This is about the living thing. The next one is that they are able to respire. Okay, student, if suppose you are not getting a sufficient amount of oxygen, what will happen? You will die. If the animals, they do not get the sufficient amount of oxygen, they will also die. And even the plants, they also need oxygen. They also need carbon dioxide to perform the photosynthesis. So they also need the gases so that they can survive. So oxygen is also necessary for the plants so that they can respire. So here the oxygen is used either by the plant or by the animal. In both of them, oxygen is needed to show the process of respiration. Okay, so we can say that living thing, they are able to respire. It will be not respiration. They are able to respire, or they are able to show the process of a respiration through which they get energy. So you know that to carry all the metabolic process, energy is required, and this energy will be gained by the the living beings through the process of the respiration. So respiration process can only be seen in the living thing, but the non-living thing, they cannot perform the process of respiration. So we can say that yes, the living beings, they are able to respire, and this comes in the characteristic of a living thing. The next one is that living things can respond to stimuli. Okay, living things can respond to stimuli. What does that mean, student? It means if suppose you touch a plant, like in case of a mimosa plant, Mimosa pudica, which will also known as touch me not. Okay, in Hindi we call that plant as chui me. Okay, so when you touch that plant, what will happen? The leaves start folding. Look at the sunflower. Sunflower used to rotate as the sun used to move its direction. It used to move from east to that of the west. So sunflower also changes its direction. Now when you look at the root and the shoot, so root used to go deep inside the soil, inside the ground, while the shoot, it used to move in the upward direction. So one is going in the downward direction, other one is going in the upward direction. So why does it occur? It because one is moving upward so that it will take the sunlight, and one is going downward because it is responding to that of the gravity, responding to that of the underground. Okay, so here the response is occurred due to the living thing. Now you see here, student, if suppose you are sitting, if you went to a kitchen and you touch a pan and suddenly you lift it because you realize that was a very hot pan. So you release this or you throw the pan. That is what, this is a response that you are showing towards that of the hot plate. Now you have taken the hot plate, you have kept it on the table. Is anything happened to the table? No. You have taken it and kept on an iron bench. Does anything happen to the bench? No. So you can see that since the non-living thing, they do not respond. But the living thing used to respond to any kind of stimulus. Like student, you used to go to the playground. Okay. So at that time, if it is a hot sunny day, so as you go, your eyes used to shrink. Okay. It closes as you move from a dark place to the light place, to a very bright place. Okay, so this closing of the eye, it is what? It is the response to what? To the sunlight. Okay, so sunlight is what? It is a stimulus, and the response that you are showing is what? It is the respond. Okay, now you were playing for a 1 hour, and then from the bright light you came inside to the class which is dark. Okay, so what will happen? You will open your eyes. Okay, you will broaden your eyes. So because at that time you are not able to see the thing clearly. Okay, and that is why you broaden the eye. So this is what? This is also a kind of a response that you used to show through the stimulus, that is sunlight only. Okay, so we can say that this kind of a response will be shown by the living things only. Okay, if suppose you have kept a plant, you have planted it in a pot and you live in a dark place, keeping it close to a window which was open, and the sunlight start coming out through the window, what will you see? You will find that the plant will also move towards the sunlight. So this is also response. So ultimately we can say overall that the living thing used to respond according to the stimulus. Okay. Next one, living things excrete. Yes, the living thing they used to excrete. Okay, so we used to discharge our waste material. So we used to eat, student. After eating, some of the waste material is also formed in the body, and it is very necessary to release this, or it is necessary to excrete this waste material from the body. So we can say that the living thing used to excrete the waste material from the body itself. How the plants, so gums, you have heard about gums or raisins. This is what? This is an excretion that is shown by the plant itself. Now not only this, student, if you look that excess amount of water is also released in the form of a water vapor. This is what? This is also an excretion. Even if you case in a human being, so we used to excrete as well as we used to sweat. So sweating is also water, that is the also comes in a excretion. So we used to show the process of excretion. Have you ever seen that any of the car or the bus or any of the non-living thing excrete? No, they do not. So we will say that the living things show the process of excretion. Next one is living thing used to show the process of reproduction. So they are capable of producing their own or increasing their generation. Okay, so they shows the process of a reproduction. Have you ever seen a chair or a table used to reproduce and produce a smaller one? No, they do not. So the non-living thing, they do not reproduce, but the living things, they do. Either it can be animal, it can be plants, or it can be human being. Although the reproduction process vary, because one can give birth to the young ones, one give egg, and the other, in case of a plant, seeds formation occur. But you have seen that from one organism, other organism grow, other organism is produced. So we can say that the process of a reproduction is carried out by the living things. Okay, so we can write it. Living things can reproduce. Okay, so they used to reproduce. Living things can reproduce. Can reproduce. It means they can have young ones. Okay, so they can have young ones, students. Any other characteristic? Yes. You see, students, any living thing who came to the life and grow, develop, and finally they die. Okay, so from birth to the death, this is what? This is the lifespan. Okay, so this is the life only. If lifespan of a person is from the birth of the person to the death of the person, that is the lifespan. So every living organism is having a definite lifespan. Whether it is a plant, whether it is an animal, whether it is a human being, you have seen that everybody is having a definite lifespan. They used to take birth, they used to grow, they used to perform their the roles, and finally they used to die. Okay, so we can say that either it is a plant, either it is an animal, they are having a definite lifespan. They used to grow and die. So they are having a span, they are having a lifespan. And that lifespan is a definite lifespan. But in case of a non-living thing, there is no such kind of a definite lifespan. It can be broken in a one day, or it can be carry out for several generations, students. So we can say that the non-living things, they do not have a lifespan, definite lifespan, but living things, they do. Living things have definite lifespan. Okay, they are having a definite lifespan. Okay, so this was about the characteristic of a living thing. So whenever the question is asked that how can you say that this organism or this thing is a living thing and this is a non-living thing, so always remember all these characteristics. On the basis of that you can say that yes, this is a living thing and this is a non-living thing. So living things, they possess such features, they possess such characteristics. On the basis of that we can say that the living things, these are the living things or these are the non-living things. Now let us see some of the term which is related to the characteristic only, or which is very important, or which the things which happen in case of the living things. Food. Okay, so when we are talking about the food, we always say that food is what? Is it necessary? Yes, it is very necessary for all the living organisms so that they remain alive, so that they can survive in the environment, in the atmosphere. So food makes a living organism to stay alive. Okay. So all the living things needs food to stay alive. To stay alive. Okay. Now, not only this, right now we had discussed that they also need air and water. Okay, these are the basic things that is very important for the survival of a living organism. Now you see here student, if we talk about the plant, so you know that the plant, they need not to depend for their food because they are having chlorophyll and they are able to perform the process of a photosynthesis. So with the help of the process of photosynthesis, plants are able to make their own food. So when we are talking about the food, we are saying that the plants, they are able to make their own food. Okay. The plants, they obtain their food through the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so they need not to be dependent on the other for their food, and that is why they are also known as autotrophs, because they are able to prepare their own food. So we can say that they are able to perform the process of photosynthesis, and by this they can obtain their food. What about the animals? We can say the animals, they take their food from the plant and its product. Okay. But in case of animals, obtain its food from the plants and other animals. So we are saying other animals, it means there are animals which are herbivores, there are animals which are carnivore. So herbivore used to obtain food from the plant, and the carnivore, they used to obtain food from the other animals. So they are using their food, they are taking their food by the plant or by the animal. What about the non-living things, students? So non-living things, they do not need food. Now what is the reason? We are saying that they need food so that they can stay alive. So why we are taking food? What is the need of using food? How the food help a person to stay alive? So it is the food which provide a sufficient amount of energy to the living organism. Okay. as well as it will also help in giving help in the growth or in carrying out the basic life process. Okay, so we can write it. Food gives the material for growth and energy. For growth and energy. For growth and energy to carry out various life process. To carry out various life process. Various life processes taking place inside the living things. Okay. While in case of non-living things do not need food, air and water for its survival. Okay, so the living thing, they need the different material for the growth and energy to carry out the various life process, and the non-living thing, they do not need the food or the water. It is not compulsory for the, it is not needed by the non-living thing for their survival. Okay.